It is absolutely not possible to check out another country without checking with Ryan Shirley first. He always has the best footage of all these different countries. Now this video is a little bit older, but the footage I'm sure is going to be the best nonetheless. This is going to be top 20 places to visit in Spain. So I'm really excited about this, guys, so let's go ahead and dive right in.
What's up, guys? My name is Ryan, and I spent the last few years exploring the wonderful country of Spain, and I want to show you my favorite places. So here's my Spain top 20.
Man, this dude's always doing backflips, I swear.
Spain has to be one of my all-time favorite countries. It's home to some of the world's most stunning landscapes, intriguing history, and pure Mediterranean vibes. I've been to Spain.
I already have to say right off the bat, Spain, it looks like this is one of these places, the perfect place where you have landscape, like out in the fields, you know, endless fields with all these lush flowers and plants. Then you have the coastline where you're with the vast ocean. You have all these cliffs. I mean, legit mountains, not hills. I mean, it's like everything in one. It almost reminds me of France in a sense, or any of those. I mean, they're right next to each other, which makes sense, but this is like the perfect place. And it's only like a few hours drive, because you can drive from one side of the country to the other in not that much time as in compared to America. Whereas if you want to go to like the Smoky Mountains from here, you're going to have to drive like, 15, 16 hours or something like that. So if you've ever dealt with that, or you get to freely and easily travel to a lot of these different places if you're over in Europe, go ahead and let me know.
3 times now, and I just can't get enough of this country. Let's start this video off at possibly my favorite island in the world, Mallorca. When you think of a Mediterranean paradise, this is it. Mallorca is home to crystal clear water, windy roads, and some of the world's best cliff jumping spots.
Oh my gosh.
When I started solo traveling, this was the first place I went to, so it will forever have a special place in my heart. One of my favorite places in Mallorca is Cala Varquez. Now, to get to Cala Varquez, you can walk down this long dirt road and make it down to the beach. Now, you're going to be blown away by the beauty of this place. I mean, it literally has everything from sandy beaches to prime cliff jumping spots. The combination of white limestone, green vegetation, and crystal blue water makes for one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. Now, when I was there, I did one of the biggest cliff jumps of my life, and I gained off this massive 60-foot arch. I mean, it was so freaking terrifying, but to this day, it's one of my all-time favorite travel memories.
Oh my goodness. So 60 foot, huh? I think the highest cliff that I've ever jumped off of was around 60, but I think it was like 55. It might have been 50, somewhere around that, and it was in a man-made lake, huge lake. But I remember jumping off. I went first, the 2, and it was cold outside. I jumped, and I tried to be like as skinny as possible when I went down, because I wanted to go straight into the water, and obviously you don't want to belly flop and all that type of stuff. But when I hit the water, I went like this, and I curved in like that, and I hit my butt, and it felt like I broke my tailbone. Like, that's how bad it hurt. Now, I know if you jump from very high distances, like, I don't know, 90 feet or something like that, it's like hitting concrete when you hit the water. Like, people die from that stuff. So, but it was fun nonetheless. If you've ever jumped from a high distance, go ahead and let me know your highest, because if you jumped anything higher than 60, you're crazy.
Another cool thing I did is me and my brother, we found these underwater caves, and we swam through them. I mean, I couldn't believe how clear this water was. It's my dream playground, and I can't recommend it enough. Now, on the other side of Mallorca, you can visit the famous road to Sa Calobra. Now, coming from the US, I'm used to wide roads and highways, so this blew my mind. Roads in Europe tend to be pretty skinny, but this was by far the most crazy road I've ever drove on.
This does look kind of crazy, because look at this. It almost seems like only one car can go on this unless you're around one of the bends. I think this was the same thing in like Norway, I think it was. Whereas some parts, it doesn't even look like you can pass each other. Like, there's another car. I mean, maybe you can go right next to it, but it's like really skinny. This also reminds me of the road in San Francisco, if anybody knows what I'm talking about.
It's full of hairpin turns and loops that wind down the mountain. The surrounding area is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, just had massive mountains that lead down to the sea. I believe a lot of car commercials are filmed here, and I totally understand why. I found a really cool lookout point to get a view of the road. When I was driving down it, I was just pretty terrified. There were some spots that only had enough room for one car. Now, you can take the road down to the bottom and visit Torrent de Paris. It's this awesome beach between these two.
I have to say, anytime I see something like this, I think of the Battle of Thermopylae. If you guys know what it is, you're a special person.
Cliffs. I had just a good time chilling. I was just amazed by all the sailboats that were just vibing in the bay there. When I was there, I wish I would have stayed for sunset because I hear it's just incredible on that side of the island. Anyways, I can't recommend Mallorca enough. It's just an amazing place. All right.
What?
So
Whoa! Did you guys see that?
I can't recommend
What's up with this tree out here in the middle of nowhere? It's like I mean, there's some over here, but there's a lot. And this one is like this big old tree, like it's like a lone tree. There's always some just lone tree somewhere. It's funny. You got all these little tiny ones, I guess, but then you got this big thing, Pocahontas tree.
Mallorca enough. It's just an amazing place. All right, so after Mallorca, we're going to go head to the Atlantic Ocean to visit the volcanic Canary Islands. Now, located off the coast of northwestern Africa, Canary Islands are home to some of the world's most unique landscapes. You might as well call them the Hawaiian Islands of Europe because that's what they remind me of. The biggest and most populated island on the archipelago is called Tenerife. Now, it looks like the prime location to film the next Jurassic Park film. I mean, it's just so crazy out there.
I want to say the Canary Islands. I forgot that they were over there. For some reason, I was thinking like they were down by, below America, north of South America, somewhere around in there. I forgot they were all the way over there. However, does anybody know about crypto and the Songbird Network and the Canary Network? Because it was like the first one for Flare. Am I like the only one that knows about this stuff? If anybody else knows about this, you should, not financial advice, get into it and know about it. That's all I'm gonna say.
One of the craziest places in Tenerife is the cliffs of Los Gigantes. They have these massive sheer cliff walls that rise 800 meters out of the ocean. I mean, I felt like I was going to see a flying dinosaur soaring over those cliffs. You can go venture to the windy roads of the Masca Gorge, or you can explore the incredible seaside views at Playa Benmijo. I seriously just can't get over how beautiful this place is. Now, you can also head over to the nearby island of Fuerteventura. Being the second largest of the Canary Islands, Fuerteventura also offers some jaw-dropping landscapes. The Playa de Cofete is an incredible isolated beach with a backdrop of desolate mountains. One of my favorite.
Vamos a la playa. It is weird to me when you see desert met with the ocean. It's like two opposites. This is what I was talking about where, Spain has everything to offer. I mean, you got the desert, you got the mountains, you got the fields, you got the ocean, you got literally everything in one.
Places is the Parque Natural de Corralejo. It's home to a pristine
Look
area
at that sand dunes
that go right up to the ocean.
Crazy.
I mean, just how freaking cool is that? Fuerteventura is such a unique location. Aside from Tenerife and Fuerteventura, the Canary Islands are also home to islands such as Lanzarote and Gran Canaria. Canaries are a place that I haven't visited yet, but you best believe I'm going there.
Right there. This is what I'm talking about. Okay. So this looks too desolate to even plant. I would assume this is, the ground being cultivated for crops maybe. But what would you grow out here? Because this kind of looks like, since it's red, I guess clay. And then it's just like the terrain is mountainous and it's rugged. So what really would you farm out here, or what would you really be doing? I mean, are they drilling? Or obviously there's no equipment, but what's going on here? Maybe somebody knows that, is in this field. Or, I don't know, you live there and just go ahead and let me know.
As soon as I can. After, we're going to head to northern Spain. Now, northern Spain is such a stunning
lush.
region. It's full of green scenery,
it looks like a boatyard,
and an incredible coastline. Now, one of the most impressive cities in northern Spain is Bilbao. Bilbao is a beautiful port city filled with stunning architecture and history. One of the crowning features of
this looks like a boat. Am I the only one that thinks this looks... Well, that's a spider, it looks like one that I would find here in my basement. But that looks like a boat. Like, if you take a look back at this, it reminds me of the Renovatio, if anybody knows what that is.
The city is the Guggenheim Museum. It's one of the most unique buildings I've ever seen. Now, just an hour's drive from Bilbao, you can visit the islet of Gaztelugatxe. Now, the first church was built on the island all the way back in the 10th century. If you visit, you'll have to walk up a narrow path of more than 200 stairs. Now, you may recognize this island from Game of Thrones as Dragonstone.
Makes sense.
I mean, just such epic.
Okay, tell me I'm not the only person that thinks about this little church, Vikings running up those stairs and just raiding the church, just showing up there and being like, I'm taking what is mine, taking all the gold and whatnot. But that's literally what that reminds me of.
location. Hope y'all can check out. After, we're going to head over to the nearby mountains of Picos de Europa. Now, located in northern Spain lies these
the peak of
crazy
Europe?
mountains that remind me a lot of the Dolomites. This is just another place that I haven't been yet, and I just want to go so freaking bad. One of the most crazy
It's almost like New Zealand.
impressive places is Naranjo de Bulnes. Oh, it's this massive rock tower
Wow.
that shoots straight out of the mountain. I mean, just so freaking epic. I mean, I can't believe
Now
it.
that's
The
Switzerland
highest
right
point
there.
in Picos de Europa is Torre de Cerrero.
Okay, whoa. Why are we so high up that we're the same height as the sun, basically? That's kind of scary high, actually.
At an elevation of 2,650 meters. If you want to get lost in the mountains for a few days,
I keep pausing it, but I mean, and then you got horses out here that are like on steroids. Look how built this thing is. This is like a pit bull on steroids. And it's over here eating thistlewood, like from Skyrim. Like, oh, these thistles don't bother me. Dude, this thing is built tough.
you'll have to add
Wow.
Picos de Europa to your Spain travel list. After, we're going to visit the famous city of Barcelona.
Yeah, this is my
And when
favorite.
you think of Spain, this is what you probably imagine. Barcelona is home to incredible architecture, Mediterranean beaches, and an energetic vibe all around. The most iconic attraction in Barcelona is La Sagrada Familia.
I forgot
It's
about
this
that.
Roman Catholic minor basilica that began construction over 138 years ago, and it still isn't finished. It's
Whoa, okay. So this started 138 years ago. Oh, wait, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, 12. But this looks like a pile of mud, like hand-sculpted mud, basically, that dried out in the sun. Obviously, it's not that, but this architecture started that long ago, and it's still being constructed today. That seems a little bit weird to me as to, I mean, did the blueprint change? How, I mean, with technology, the different material, how does that all even work? If you live there and you know more about it, go ahead and let me know, because that is actually kind of fascinating.
Anticipated that construction will be finished in 2026, but who knows?
But that's
All
coming
I know
up.
is one of the most unique buildings in the world, and I still can't get my head around that it's been construction since 1882. After Barcelona, we're gonna head over to the nearby mountains of Montserrat. Now, it's just a
Montserrat.
quick hour train ride or drive from Barcelona, making it a perfect day trip. Now, Montserrat is really cool because
These look like a bunch of faces.
that give a view of all of Catalonia. Now, when you get there, you can go take a cable car up to the Abbey of Montserrat, which is a mountain monastery that offers some incredible views. Now, there's a ton of hiking trails that lead you to a religious relic around the mountains. Definitely do some hikes once you're up there. I mean, it's just such a unique location. And
Like,
you know,
all the lines within the rocks back there, they just kind of look like faces. Like, if you, like, take a second look and you look at it, it just look like faces for some reason.
me, I like my rocks. This place has a bunch of them. After, we're going to visit the city of Zaragoza, now located about 3 hours drive from Barcelona. Zaragoza is the
Zaragoza.
5th most populated city in Spain with a population of around 700,000. One of the most impressive features of the city is the Cathedral Basilica.
So the basilica is nice, but the first thing I noticed is, why is this water so gross looking? Is this just because it's the city, or it's just a lot of mud down there, or what? Because it straight up looks like dookie water, and that does not seem pleasing to the eye.
Basilica of Our Lady of the Pillar. It's believed that St. James was preaching the gospel in Spain around 40 AD when the Mother of God appeared to him on the banks of the river here and instructed him to build a church in her honor. Soon after, the
Really?
little church was built, but this massive church you see today began construction in 1681 and took nearly 300 years to finish. I mean,
Oh my
I can't believe
gosh.
how massive it is. Now, while we're still on the topic of St. James, we're going to head to northwestern Spain to visit.
Okay, but can you imagine starting a project that takes over 300 years to build, and it's like, oh, you don't even get to see the finished product? I mean, what kind of feelings must that person have had to say, hey, I'm starting this, but I know I'm not going to be able to see it. My son's not going to be able to see it, and his son's not going to be able to see it. You know what I mean? It's just like way down the line. That's kind of a crazy thought to think of.
Santiago de Compostela. Now, what's really cool about this city is it's the location of the shrine of the Apostle St. James. Now, since the 9th century, there has been a Catholic pilgrimage route named the Camino de Santiago, or in English, the Way of St. James. During the Middle Ages, it was one of the most important Christian pilgrimages to do. The beginning of the pilgrimage begins at one's home and ends at the shrine. The route passes through some stunning towns such as Logrono or Astorga. A lot of people will walk it, or you can also cycle it. I mean, it would just be such a fun trek to make one day.
I think so too. I think journeys like this, especially when it takes a long time, are, fascinating, and you learn a lot while doing it. The only thing I can think of, though, is when these people did this back then, it took maybe days or weeks or maybe even months to get to their destination. Whereas we complain about going a mile or something like that. We can't even go a mile because we're out of breath and we're so out of shape and whatnot. I mean, you can cycle it, and people even cycling it might still struggle with it. Now we get in a car and we drive it very fast, and we still complain because it's taken too long. You know what I mean? So these people back then, they were just so used to having to travel long distances over a long period of time. That's just remarkable to me.
Now, afterwards, we're going to head over to the capital of Spain, Madrid.
Madrid.
Located in the center of the country, Madrid is a beautiful modern city. The Plaza Mayor is a great place to visit and experience the heart of Madrid. The Royal Palace is another incredible spot. It's the official residence of the Spanish royal family, and it's the biggest palace in all of Europe. I just can't believe how big it is. After Madrid, we're going to head over to visit the nearby Alcazar de Segovia.
There we go. I'm sorry. I got it. So castles hold a special place in my heart. I don't know why. Maybe one day I'll make a video as to why they're so special to me. But you have Alcazar de Segovia. I don't really know if I'm saying that correctly. But like I said, you have the landscape. You have the what was I trying to say? Like the flowers, like the plants. You have the coastline. You have the mountains. You have everything. And you got freaking castles there too. Now, what in the world? When you have all that combined, that makes your place, your country, the most amazing. This is why I do these videos on European countries, because they have everything, that I guess I hold dear, and I'm sure a lot of you guys too. So it just makes me happy seeing that there's a castle here. I just love castles.
Alcazar de Segovia, now located in central Spain, about an hour's drive
right in the
from
middle.
Madrid. I have to say this is one of Spain's most dramatic castles. It has a very distinct shape that resembles the bow of a ship. The castle was built in the 12th century as a fortress, but served as a royal palace, prison, and military academy throughout the years.
How you gonna clump in military and prison the same? I mean, I guess that's kind of cool, but I mean, it's almost like the same vibe. Okay, if we want to hold prisoners here, we're giving off the vibe that you're stuck here, it's a prison, and you're captured. And now you're going to train the military personnel there too? I mean, wouldn't they feel the same thing?
Today, it's a museum and one of Spain's most unique castles. After exploring the castle, we're going to visit nearby Toledo, located about 70 kilometers south of Madrid. Toledo is a stunning ancient city, perfectly placed on a hill. It's known as the city of three cultures due to its influences from Christians, Muslims, and Jews. The history of Toledo is fascinating and complex. It was taken over by the Moors for several centuries until it was conquered in the 11th century by the Castilians. Today, the city has a population around 80,000. One of the most impressive is the Alcazar de Toledo. It was once used as a Roman palace, and then it was eventually restored in the 16th century. Another amazing city in Spain is Cordoba. It's home to more World Heritage sites than anywhere in the world, with 4. One of the coolest features of the city is the Mosque Cathedral of Cordoba. It's regarded as the most accomplished monument of Moorish architecture. It was finished in 746 AD, and it was converted to a Christian church in the 16th century.
Okay, so the first thing I think of with Cordoba, I think that I'm saying that right, is from Puss in Boots, when the Kitty Softpaws, I think her name was, and Puss are talking with each other and they say something like Cordoba, I think, but he's always talking about like gazpacho, but I don't. That's the first thing I thought of when I heard that.
One of my favorite cities in Spain is Ronda. It's just a 2
Ronda.
hours drive from Cordoba, and it's home to one of the most scenic bridges I've ever seen, called Puente Nuevo. It was built in the 18th century.
New Point or something,
the
maybe?
El Tajo Gorge. It stands 120 meters over the canyon floor. I just can't get over the architecture of the arches.
Look at that pool.
What a beautiful spot. Now, from Ronda, we're going to make the 2 hours drive to Granada, located at the base of the Sierra Nevada mountains. Granada is an elegant Spanish city The crowning feature of Granada is the Alhambra. It's a fortified Moorish palace that was completed in 1354. The interior of this palace is stunning. There's a reflection pool and a pillared courtyard. I mean, I totally understand why it's one of the most renowned Islamic buildings in Europe. After Granada, we're going to head over to Seville. Now, as the capital of the Andalusia region in Spain, Seville is a very historic city where flamenco dancing was born. The Cathedral of Seville will blow your mind. It's one of the largest churches in the world, and it's the world's largest Gothic church. Another impressive site in the city includes the Plaza de España. It's a beautiful place that's a perfect combination of Baroque, Renaissance, and Moorish architecture. Afterwards, we're going to visit the nearby port city of Cadiz. Now, located on Spain's southern coast, about an hour's drive from Seville, Cadiz is one of the oldest continuously inhabited cities in Europe, as it was founded by the Phoenicians over 3,000 years ago.
Oh,
and
wow.
I just think it's such a beautiful city.
Whoa, go back to that. How do I go? Let's go back to that real quick. I know, I am not the only one that sees this building right here and does not, first of all, think of a Sunnyside egg. That's 100% Sunnyside egg right there. Yep, it is. 100%.
City with its white buildings as they're placed perfectly on the narrow strip of land. Now, after Cadiz, we're going to head over to the energetic city of Valencia. Now, being Spain's third most populous city, Valencia is full of culture and history. It's located on Spain's southeastern coast. One of the most impressive attractions in Valencia is the City of Arts and Sciences. I mean, it's one of the most unique modern architectural structures that I've ever seen. Construction began in 1996. And it was inaugurated 9 years later. It was estimated that construction cost almost $1 billion. Anyways, you can go paddleboard on the water, or you can go watch a film in the IMAX theater there. I mean, the surrounding Science Museum Park is also a beautiful place to walk around and enjoy the beauty of Valencia.
Okay, so we're going to have to see that again. I've never seen that in my life. He said billion, like with a B, not a M. Go back. Come on.
A beautiful place to walk.
Come on. I want to see like that first picture. Look at this thing. Why does this thing look like a resort and a cruise ship put into one? And a dinosaur. What's going on? It literally looks like that. Does it not? Am I the only one that sees this? Or it's like a fish. It looks like a fish that's like skinned and flayed. And then these are like the bones and whatnot. But this thing is massive. And I wonder why the design looks like this, because that's literally what it resembles. I know I'm not the only one that sees this too. I've never seen this building in my entire life. Not even pictures or anything, or even on TV, nothing. It's very interesting. All right, I'm going to skip back to forward. All right.
In the IMAX theater there, I mean, the surrounding Science Museum Park is also a beautiful place to walk around and enjoy the beauty of Valencia. Alright, so for my last location, we're going to head over to the wild island of Ibiza. Now, while Ibiza is known for crazy nightlife and party city, it also has some of the world's best beaches and cliff jumping. Me and my brother decided to go to Ibiza for Halloween, because why not? Anyways, we spent the first few days exploring the island, and honestly,
bro, why would you do that on the cliff?
Find any really cool cliff jump
scary
spots, but on our last day, we had just a few hours before our plane was about to take off, and we found this secluded cove. We hiked down and made sure the water was deep enough.
He's scared.
Perfect cliff, and I threw some jumps off, and then my brother did a wild double backflip off the cliff. One of my favorite places on Ibiza is this island called Isla de Esvedra. It's this rugged, uninhabited island that shoots over 400 meters straight out of the ocean. Now, there's a lot of myths and legends about Esvedra, and some claim that it's the third most magnetic place in the world. I'm not sure if that's true. I just know that it's one of the most beautiful islands I've ever seen. You can rent a boat and go cruise around the island looking for some epic cliff jump spots, or just enjoy the beauty of this limestone island.
So this is the third most magnetic place on Earth, or so people say. I wonder why that is, and I wonder what that really entails. Things being magnetized all of a sudden just sticking to the rock or what. But I wonder if you go there, if you experience anything different, like changes to your body or just a certain feeling. And it's the third most.
next time I'm in Ibiza, I'm going to make sure to go check out Vedra and see if the myths and legends are true. Whether you want to go to Ibiza for cliff jumping or just partying with Kygo, it's one of the most entertaining
with
places
Kygo.
to visit. Well, that is it for my Spain top 20. Let me know where your favorite place is in Spain.
As expected, Spain is, just like France. France is just like Spain to me. Although they are right next to each other, they have, like I said, all the landscape, anything you ever want, all in one. You can travel to, with maybe a few hours drive, I don't know, maybe at the most 8, you can get to one point of the country to the other to experience all the stuff that you want. So I don't know, maybe I should have started off with this video as Hola, me llamo the Angry Spud. Who knows, maybe that could be for a later video, but I'm excited to explain I'm excited to go through, Spain more, look at la comida and everything else it has to offer. So guys, this is all I have for this video, and I will see you in the next reaction.